Guys, this video is the lecture video for how to do the independent samples t-test in your either Web Excel or Google Sheets. So I can see here I've got my data set open. Now remember, we are working with an independent samples t-test. Remember, Excel calls this to sample for equal variances. Now, couple things we have to keep in mind. First thing is that we have to have two groups. So this is a t-test, remember T for 2. I can see that I have males in one column, I have females in another column. So that satisfies my first condition that I have to have two groups. Whenever you want to do an independent samples t-test, it's important to have them in two separate columns like this so that you have that distinction between the two groups. The second condition is that they are tested one time. I can see that my males are in a completely separate group and I've got a bunch of scores for them. My females are in a different column and they have a bunch of scores for them. It's safe to assume that they're only tested one time. Now I will notice that I have two more females in my data set than I do males, and that's fine. It's okay to have a different amount in group 1 than in group 2. Okay? So since I am in Web Excel, remember Google Sheets is the same thing, I have to go to my add-ins and I have to click on this XLMiner. Now note it did not start automatically whenever I open my data set, so if you did not install this already to search for it and add it to your favorites, you'll have to search for it up here. But here's XLMiner. It's going to pop up over here to the side. And here's all my options, okay? So I am doing an independent samples t-test. Remember I said it was a 2 sample assuming equal variances. If I click this bubble, it's going to open up my options. So let's go through each of these. Okay, so each of these boxes has to be filled in. Some of them you can leave blank, but they all have to be filled in with something. So variable 1 range, I have to tell Excel variable 1 is not a very good name. It means group 1. In other words, what is my first group? Okay, I'm going to make males my first group because they're in column A. So I highlight them and then I click this cell. Oh, there we go. And sometimes there's a little bit of a lag between what happens. So click your variable 1 range and then highlight, and then it will fill in your bubbles. Like I said, sometimes it gets a little finicky and there's a little bit of a lag. So now variable 2 range, in other words, what's my group 2? My females are my group 2, and it will fill in those. So make sure you do a double check on this, that you've got column A in variable 1 range, column B in variable 2 range. This box can be left blank. Also notice whenever I highlighted my ranges, I included this very top row that has labels. I did that because of this box. This box indicates to Excel that I have labels in here and I want it to use it. Okay. The alpha level, leave that alone. That is our level of risk that we are willing to take. We talked about those steps to test the significance. Leave that alone. Now output range, I'm going to click this box and you can put this anywhere on your sheet. I'm just going to click this cell here. Click one cell for the output range, and that was where Excel will put the answers. Okay, click OK and it will do some crunching. Now here's my output. This is all my answers. I do not need every single one of these answers or all these numbers. I just need some of the information. So let's go through and highlight the information I need. We are going to need this information for my next video where I talk about how to write the results in APA format. Okay, so remember this is essentially step 4 from our steps to test the significance. Okay, so I need my labels. I've highlighted them yellow. You can highlight them in whatever color you want. I need my mean values. I also need to know my observations so I know what my sample size is. I need my degrees of freedom. And then I also need my t-stat. This is the calculated value from Excel for my t-test. Okay, so this one's really important. And then the last one is my two-tail P. Okay, my P two-tail. In other words, this is the one that enables us to decide if we are going to accept or reject our null. So if this is less than 0.05, we are going to reject our null. Remember, the null states the groups are equal, that there's no difference. Okay, this one, 0.005537, is way less than 0.05, so I am going to reject the null. Okay, if this is greater than 0.05, then we accept our null as true. Okay, but since this one is less than 0.05, this is going to be my decision. Okay, so in the next video, I will show you how to use all of this information to write up our results for the last step of our testing.